So they don't seem to be concerned about that increase. They seem to be more concerned about a decrease in other populations.
Say it.
No, I think I said enough.
It's not based on that.
And so, well, it's just based on a study.
So, guys, once again, Sunny Hostin is taking both feet in her mouth. She's taking both feet and shoving them in her mouth like she always does, and she gives us the content, so we will cover it. These people, there are some people out here who cannot see anything past race, okay? What she's talking about is this initiative that the Trump administration has to make children, American kids, the American population is decreasing, so I guess he has some initiative to, for people to have more babies. I haven't looked at it. I think it sounds nice. I mean, to even think of doing something like that, but I haven't looked at it. I don't know what all goes into it. But apparently the hens did, and Sunny Hostin is about to go full racial again. Like, gosh, even when it comes to having kids, you got to take it to some sort of white-black kind of thing. And, of course, Joy Behar is more than happy to instigate with her. It's just too much. So let's go ahead and get into Sunny Hostin's going full racial on The View again.
16,000 in the first year, and that's a conservative estimate. So it's just not touching the surface on this. But I'm one of those people that I feel that the Earth is overpopulated. So when it comes to...
Then why do they want us to have more babies?
Well, they want more babies because it affects not only the workforce, but paying into entitlement programs.
Social safety.
But what I would say is this is a short... They're missing the greater point. AI is going to be a problem for our entitlement programs way before the birth rate.
What entitlement programs?
So like
the social safety
security, if you have less people working in the workforce, you have less people paying into a system that eventually has to pay. It's going to bankrupt the social services. The problem here is AI is going to defeat that way before our birth rates are. So they're missing something greater. They have.
All right, so let me go just a little further back into what she's saying. I also find it very funny people who can make such bold statements about the world being overpopulated. And I almost sometimes want to ask them, like, how was it when you created the world? Like, what was the number that you wanted to stop at for humans, right? I mean, okay.
On some of these programs, and that $5,000. So when you look at cesarean section,
$2,500, babe.
Okay, it's
all the stuff they've cut is looking into offering $5,000 cash bonuses, expanded access to IVF, along with other incentives for women to have more babies.
I mean, why be so bizarre about it? It's like, okay, I'm not into IVF. Some people are. I pray that okay, I don't have to get all personal, but they look like this is it. What, these people hate kids? Like, what's going on? This whole segment is bizarre, right? Sorry, I know I keep stopping it. By the way, please don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button and the notification bell. All right, let's go back to it.
Why?
And okay, I am incredibly insulted by this because clearly they don't know how women's bodies work, and they don't know what it costs to raise a child or just have a child. And $5,000? I don't know what $5,000 is supposed to do. And it's not even $5,000 because you have to cut it in half because you got to pay taxes on it.
yeah.
So they're offering you $2,500 to have a baby. Now, don't forget about all the stuff they've cut.
Right, we have a
That
list
you
of
need.
that.
Yes, you
You're
have.
not supposed to rely on the government this hard. Like, what the heck? What gone are the days? Like, I'm sorry. Like, I just don't believe in relying. So what, the government is supposed to take care of the baby forever? Maybe there's people who like, we're going to have children anyway. And it's like, oh, okay, this will help me. What is going on? And she's like, I'm insulted. Everybody's so angry. I mean, they look like the typical angry menopausal women. Like, what is this? I mean, Whoopi is making so many faces. Like, I can't even take it. Like,
I have a list.
Yeah.
So I'm supposed to say to you all, and are you ready for this?
Yeah.
What do you think of this proposal? Does it address the reasons why perhaps people aren't having children these days? But aren't you excited about it?
Well, I'm not going to turn down a $5,000 check, but I think there are. I
think you will.
Well,
$2,500, babe.
But you had 3. You're going to have more.
You're missing my point. That's the line. Thank you, comedians, for ruining that. But what I was going to say is it's like putting a Band-Aid on a deeper problem. We don't have paid family leave in this country. We don't have subsidized childcare. We have the highest maternal mortality rate.
Yeah.
And the next, it's 55% higher than the second place. That's a lot for one of the wealthiest country in the world. That's a problem. That's where we could work on some of these programs and that $5,000. So when you look at cesarean section,
$2,500, babe.
okay, it's even worse than that.
It depends on your tax bracket.
It depends on your tax, but adding like essential supplies on top of your medical costs, whether you're covered for insurance or not, you're looking at about $16,000 in the first year, and that's a conservative estimate. So it's just not touching the surface on this. But I'm one of those people that I feel that the Earth is overpopulated. So when it comes to
Then why do they want us to have more babies?
well, they want more babies because it affects not only the workforce but paying into entitlement.
Right, and this is when she goes back into getting into all that AI stuff. I want to get to see what Alyssa has to say before Sunny goes into her full, racism, because while she's sitting at that table and everybody's talking, that's all she's thinking is like, get ready. I can't wait, because this is about white people this, white people that. So, but for what she's saying, it's like all of these calculations, like, I'm sorry, my best friend has 6 beautiful children. And she didn't think about what the government was going to give her when she, made her family. Like, but you know what I mean? Praise the Lord. Like, I just don't get it. Like, I'm sorry. This notion that, like, they want us to have, kids. Like, whoa.
Taxing billionaires.
He
but
floated.
He suggested it.
People that make more than $1 million a year as well, he wants to tax.
I actually generally support this policy. That may surprise you guys. The number one concern I hear from young people is that they want to have kids, but they don't think they can afford it. And we could argue over whether it's enough money or not, the $5,000. But both Italy and France do this. You get a one-time payment when you have a child, and what it could go toward.
$5,000 though.
Well, it could go toward the out-of-pocket costs for delivering a child, which ranges between about $1,500 and $3,000. If you put it in a 529 savings account when that child is born, by the time they're 18, you'll have twice that. You'll have about $10,000 based on current market conditions. We also have policies like this in place. We have the child tax credit, which gives you a tax credit back for the number of children you have, and the earned income tax credit. Because of this idea that our social safety net, so Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, rely on the younger population keeping up with the older population so they can pay into it. But here's my caveat. This would need to apply to gay couples, not just to women who have children. And
this is the conservative on the planet. This is the conservative on the panel. Like she was cooking for a second. She brought out some numbers, had a plan and everything. And then she goes full blasphemy, full abomination, just disgusting. Yes, I said it. Yes. No, I do not promote for same-sex couples to have children. Okay? I don't. Like, my gosh, you're the one calling for this disrespect of God? That's what that is.
Adoptive parents, not just people who have children naturally. And finally, they said that they're going to look into ways to lower the cost of IVF. I'm going to need to see it to believe it, but it is too expensive. So many women deal with infertility, and they do need to find a way to lower the cost.
I want to reframe the issue a little bit, because when I look at something like this, these proposals, I want to know why, and I want to know who's making them. And so when I looked into that, they're saying that the U.S. birth rate is declining. However, in 2024, there was a 1% increase in U.S. births. But that increase was with Hispanic mothers and Asian mothers. So they don't seem to be concerned about that increase. They seem to be more concerned about a decrease in other populations.
Say it.
No, I think I said enough.
It's not based on that.
And so, well, it's just based on a study. And so the other thing
But have they said that anywhere? I mean, I feel like it could be fair.
It's just
Fair to hope.
It's just a.
Have they said that this is to target only white families?
Oh, I didn't say that.
We have to read between the lines.
I just gave the stats.
not gonna
Yeah, but
say
it's
it.
about economics. They're wanting people to pay in.
I'm just giving facts. And so also when I think about who's advocating, Project 2025, remember that? Which was tied to the Heritage Foundation, the think tank, the think tank that led Project 2025. They open up the Project 2025 before anything else, talking about family issues. The first chapter promises to restore the family as the centerpiece of American life, and the Heritage Foundation in particular has been researching this issue for over 2 years and is preparing to release a report in the coming weeks on how it believes the administration should counter declining birth rates. So I just leave that with all of you.
There are global
because I
declining
think,
birth rates.
So because the Heritage Foundation, which by the way, like, okay, so because the Heritage Foundation talked about this, it's automatically just about white people. White people's birth rates are declining rapidly. It actually concerns me. It does. Because it just does. It does because I like, come on, because I'm a Christian. Like I don't even need to explain that, right? This girl talks about this 1%. Oh, but it did increase in 1%. Okay, but let's say it decreased 20%. Oh, but 1%. And because the 1% was Spanish, you don't care. Now you think so you guys just want to make white babies. Girl, like you're adding it. Oh no, but I didn't say that. We know what you're saying. We know what you're saying. And it is despicable. Joy Behar does not consider herself white, I believe. Hold on. So there you go. You know, the View's Joy Behar, you know, like they try to do this thing like where she's not Jewish simply because that's not her faith. But she was obviously born into some sort of Jewish family or something. I just know I am Jewish, she said at the time. I practice nothing. I don't go to temple, but I do remember the holidays. You know, I mean, I'm not even going to get into all of the other stuff, okay? She does look at herself as a Jew. She does not look at herself as white. She's only white when it's convenient for her, okay? So, yeah, I have to explain that because there are some Jews. Look, she's always talking about white people. So why am I wrong for explaining that, right? Oh, I'm the bad guy now, right? I'm the bad guy for noticing that. There are some people who can assimilate, seem like they're assimilating, but always have a problem with white people. Because I know I would be mad, and there are black people who are mad when Africans come along and start talking about black Americans or Haitians do it, right? So come on. This whole clip is just disgusting.
View.
There are global
because I
declining
think,
birth rates.
Yeah, but I think when we're talking about the United States, we need to think about the who's proposing it and why.
They want future consumers.
I will say this. I paid in my money. I want my money back from Social Security.
Okay, good. Take your old miserable behind out of here. This show, I don't know how. They're just, I was going to say, I don't know how Alyssa does, but she's over here like, oh, give it to the gays. Dude. Like, it's just all too much. I'll see you guys at the next one. Bye.